Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I am reviewing this car, beast of a car. This is the Ford Endeavour. This is the BS6 version, and first of all let me show you the key. So this is the key of the Ford Endeavour. It's a very simple key, nothing much. This is to unlock the car and this is to lock the car, and this you have to press this button twice to open the boot. Now I will show you the boot afterwards. It is an electronic boot. So guys, if we come to the exterior, we can see that this is the headlight and this is a projector setup. It is in LED. This is normal halogen, the low beam is halogen. This is the DRL over here, this is LED DRL, and this is the indicator. If we go below, we can see that this is the fog lamp. This is normal halogen, and this is a massive type, grey color type of a grill over here, which you can see. This grill is finished in chrome and it has 3 slots, and the Ford logo is here. You get this honeycomb sort of a design inside, and you get front parking sensors. This car has front and rear parking sensors. So if we go to the side, we can see that the design is very minimal. It doesn't have a lot of cuts and creases, but this is a huge wheel arch over here, and the profile of this tire is 265/60 R18. These are 18-inch tires, which really does look huge on this car, and you can see the suspension travel. You can even see the suspension inside. I hope that you all can see it, but it is huge over here. You get side steps over here because as it is a very big car, you need to step on these side steps and get into the car. Outside rear view mirror is finished in chrome, and this is the indicator. This is in LED. You get a puddle lamp over here also. The door handle is finished in chrome, and at the rear, the profile of this tire is same, 265/60 R18. And this is the fuel tank. Now the fuel tank capacity is 80 liters, which is humongous, I must say. It is very huge. If we go to the back of this car, it has a sort of a wraparound design. Now the design at the back of this car is very minimal. It doesn't have a lot of quirks or anything. It's very simple, and it's good that Ford has kept it very simple because it is a huge car. Now the titanium badging is over here, showing the variant of this car. This is the reflector, and these are the parking sensors. Over here you get 4 parking sensors, one over here, one here, one here, and one here. This is top of the line titanium plus 4-wheel drive, and you get this Endeavour badging over here. This is finished in chrome. This is the rear wiper along with the washer and the defogger over here. The antenna is over here, and this is a short spoiler which you can see with the rear stop lamp, the high mounted stop lamp. And you get this roof rail, but this is not functional, this is just for show. So from the side, if I see this car is absolutely huge, nearly 5 meters in length, and honestly it's like it takes a lot of courage to even drive this car. I don't know how I am reviewing it, but it's like a very big opportunity for me to review this car. Now this is one change where you can understand the difference between the BS4 and the BS6 model. Now in the BS4 model, the engine liter would have been written here, like what is the capacity of the engine. Now in this model, you can see the Endeavour is written here. This is the 2-liter engine, which is the only engine which Ford provides right now. So now we will open the bonnet and I will show you the engine. So as you can see, engine bay is huge and you can fit a bigger engine. Actually there was a bigger engine before, which was the 3.2, but due to emission norms and all, they stuck with the 2-liter engine, and also due to tax reasons. Now you get hydraulic struts over here, so you don't have to make the effort of putting that rod thing over here. And this is a 2-liter engine. This is the Eco Blue engine from Ford, and this is a 2-liter unit. This produces around 170 horsepower and around 420 Newton meter of torque. The best thing about this engine is actually the gearbox, which I will show you while I am driving. So this has a 10-speed automatic gearbox, and the gearbox is very good. I will show everything when I drive the car, so stay tuned for that. So now I will close the bonnet and let me check out the boot of this car. So guys, I will open the boot right now and I will show you a very good feature. This has hands-free boot opening. So in order to open the boot, you need to wave your foot below the bumper and the boot has opened. So as you can see, you don't get a lot of space here, but it's good for a small bag. And you get a light over here, and you get a 12-volt charging socket. There is a hook over here also. In order to increase the boot carrying capacity, you need to press these 2 buttons over here. This lowers the seat. So let me show you. So as you can see, the seat has folded and it folds absolutely flat. There is no hump over here, and this is absolutely huge. You can keep 4 very big bags over here, and at the rear you get cup holders over here and over there, and you get AC vents up above, and there is a light over here also. So overall the boot space is pretty huge, and if you press this button again, then the seats will come up. So as you can see, I have pressed the button and the seats are coming up. So overall the boot space is pretty good. Once you fold the seats, it will be even more better, and you get a lots of space at the back. So in order to close the boot, you just have to press this button and it's going to close, or you can wave your foot below and the door will also close. Over here you get the rear parking camera, and over here you get another button. If you press this button, then the boot will also open automatically. So guys, let's jump into the interior and see what is inside and how much space Ford actually gives us in this car. So the doors are massive and it's pretty heavy to open the doors. So here you have the window switches, and this is finished in this matte finish, grey matte finish. So in this car, on all 4 doors you can lock or unlock the doors, so that is pretty nice to see. And over here you get some storage, and over here you can put a big 1 liter bottle. You have a speaker over here. You get a child lock function over here. Now in order to go to the back, this seat has a tumbling function. So you just have to pull this lever and the seat will fall. So you have to pick up this seat and go to the back. So that is pretty nice. I will not go to the back because I am 5 feet 11 and I won't be able to fit here. But so this back seat is good if you have children in your house, so they can easily fit over here, or if you have a person in your house who is around 5.5 feet, then for short journeys this space is really good. So now let me get inside the car and let me see how much legroom and knee room there is. So in order to get into the car, you have to hold this handle, you have to put your foot on the side step and get in. It's a very huge car. So if I sit inside, I am 5 feet 11 and there is ample amount of space over here, and the under thigh support is also very good. It's very impressive. You can rest your foot under the driver's side seat and there is enough space here. If you see, there is an aircon vent over here. You get a light here, and this is for the sunroof, which I will show you once I go to the front. There is another aircon vent here and another light. Now the cabin is huge. 3 people can easily sit in this cabin even for long journeys, and this car has adjustable headrests. Even the middle passenger has an headrest, and you get an armrest over here with cup holders. This has a very good damped feature and it looks really premium. Over here you get your AC controls and you get a 12-volt charging socket here. So overall the space is pretty good and 3 people can easily sit, and you get pockets over here, magazine holders. In this side also you get magazine holders, and the rear side of the seats are scooped, so you get more legroom. This is the front view of this car. So now let me go to the front and show you what are the features and what is the quality of the front dashboard. So now it's time to check out the front of this car, and you get a request sensor over here. So over here you get the power window switches. The driver side is auto up and auto down, and the remaining 3 switches is manual. This is the window lock button. This is finished in that same matte silver type finish. This is the switch to lock and unlock the car. You get a tweeter over here, and this is the handle. This is finished in a soft touch material which feels really good to hold. Now over here you get a skid plate. So both the front seats get electronic adjustable seats. Now if you press this back, the seat goes back. If you press this front, the seat goes front. And if you push it upwards, then you get more under thigh support, and this is for your backrest, to adjust the backrest. So it's pretty easy controls. This does not have a clutch obviously because this is an automatic vehicle. Over here, this is to increase or decrease the sensitivity of that light on the instrument cluster. This is for your controls. Now this is the top of the line model, so this has automatic headlamps. This is for your front and rear fog lamps, and this button is to open the boot. And over here, this is to adjust the outside rear view mirrors, the ORVMs. Let me get inside and see what are the features and what all we get. So again, I have to get onto this side step and pull my way into the seat. So guys, this is the main cabin of the Ford Endeavour. This is the steering wheel and this is finished in leather. You get a lot of controls on the steering. This is to control the right side of that instrument cluster, which I will obviously show after a while. This is to control the left side screen. The middle screen is the speedometer. This is to control the touchscreen system over here. And this is for the cruise control. Of safety, this has 7 airbags, ABS, EBD, hill hold control, hill descent control, and also electronic stability program. Now you get a touchscreen over here. As you can see, this is the Sync 3 system, and you get all the functions over here for climate control, your phone, your navigation. This also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Below you can see this is the hazard light switch, and this is to control your media volume and also for your radio. Over here you can see this has dual zone climate control, and this also has the max AC switch, which if you press, the car will blow a lot of air and cool down the cabin. You get a USB socket here, and you get a 12-volt charging socket here. Below also you get another USB socket, and over here you get a lot of space to keep your phones. Over here these are your 4x4 switches, and this is for your parking sensor, and this is for your semi-auto parallel parking function. This is your gearbox, has a 10-speed automatic gearbox, which is a first in India, and this is for your terrain response system. And you get 2 cup holders over here, and you get a handbrake here. You get an armrest over here with space. The armrest is pretty deep. You can keep your phones and a lot of other documents inside. It has auto dimming rear view mirrors, and over here if we see the sun visor, there is a light and a mirror, and over here you can see that there is a mirror and also a light. Now if we check out the sunroof, you can see that the sunroof is now closed. So if I press this button, you can see the sunroof is now opening, and if you press this button again, then the sunroof will close. These buttons over here are for the cabin lights. So if you press this button, then all the cabin lights will turn on. If you press this button, then only the left side cabin light will turn on, and if you press this button, then the front cabin lights will turn on and off. Get a sunglass holder over here. And if we check out the glove box, the glove box is pretty deep. You get a partition over here where you can keep your tablets and all these things, and the glove box is pretty deep and it can store a lot of documents. Now the quality is very good. As you can see, the dashboard is finished in leather stitching, and there is a double stitching here. It's really nice, and overall the build quality of the Endeavour is very hardy, and since this is an SUV, it has to be very hardy. Now the main funda of this car is really the 4-wheel drive system or the terrain response system. So this button in the middle is the hill descent control. So when you are going down a hill, if this is enabled, then the car will brake itself and you don't have to press the brake on your own. So it is a safety feature which this car has. The car is in the normal mode. If I turn the wheel, now the car will go into the snow, mud, grass active mode. So if you are in any of this type of terrain, then the car will adjust itself based upon the terrain. If I turn this again, you can see now the car will go into the sand mode. So if you are driving on sand, then this is the mode that you should enable. Then the last mode is the rock mode, which in this case, in the rock mode, you need 4x4 low. If you are on any rocky terrain, then this is the function you should use. So these are the basic 4x4 functions of the Ford Endeavour. Overall, all the terrains are pretty much covered. You won't go anywhere else apart from these types of terrains. So it is nice to see that Ford is providing this terrain response system on the Ford Endeavour. So in the middle you can see that there is the speedometer. Below you can see that the gear position indicator. On the left side you have a screen, and on the right side you have a screen. Now on the right side it shows the main functionalities of the car. It shows you the tire pressure, the average speed, the distance to empty, and also your tachometer over here. This is the fuel meter and this is digital. Over here, this is for your entertainment system. It shows you the various information from the infotainment touchscreen system. So if I press here, this is for your entertainment, your FM, and this is for your phone. So all your if you connect your Bluetooth, you can check out your call details over here. So this car has a lot of functions and a lot of information, and overall this car is packed a lot of features. If we look at the front view, I am sitting at the normal position and the bonnet is totally visible. All the cars are looking really small in front of this, and the visibility is also very good. At the rear also, from the rear view mirror, the visibility is really very good. I can see everything from the rear view mirror over here. As you can see, everything is visible from the rear. So guys, now the time has come for the test drive of the Ford Endeavour. So without any further ado, let's go for the test drive and I'll give you my opinion on the Ford Endeavour and how the performance of this car is. Guys, right now I am driving the Ford Endeavour. Now the main thing about this car which I can see is that you sit really very high up on the driver's seat and you can see everything. The visibility is really very good. Now this is a very huge car. It's around 5 meters in length. So visibility will be good, but you need to be very careful when you are driving this car. As I was saying, the diesel engine of this car is really very smooth and the ride quality is like excellent. Like these are the bumps, it doesn't feel like you are riding on bumps. The ride quality is so good. This Endeavour just devours all the bumps in front. Now the other thing, the diesel engine is very smooth. I am not feeling any sort of rattling or any of these things in this car. The build quality is really very nice. Now the main highlight point of this car is the gearbox. So this has a 10-speed gearbox. Now the main reason why this is a 10-speed gearbox is because of the torque range. Now the torque range, that is around 420 Newton meter of torque. It comes between 2000 to 2500 RPM. So the torque band is very less. So in order to adjust that, Ford has given the 10-speed gearbox. So you are always in that torque band. So whenever if I am pressing the accelerator, as you can see, the Endeavour is putting a gear or two down and it is accelerating. So I am always in that torque band, and the acceleration is also pretty good. Now this car weighs around more than 2 tons. So considering that fact, the acceleration is really very brisk. You can see the car has easily touched 60 and it has put some gears down and it is accelerating. Can't expect a lot of dynamism from this car since this is pretty huge, and you get a bit of a potty roll and that is expected. And the brake also is very good. You get 4 disc brakes on all 4 wheels. The braking system is also really very good. Now I will accelerate a bit on this car and let's see what is the acceleration. Now this is on full throttle. Just like this car has touched 80. Now this is a pretty huge car, that is the main thing, and this acceleration is like, for a diesel engine, this acceleration is very brisk. It will put you in the back of your seat. The steering feel is also very good. As you can see, the car is really changing directions like this, and the steering is also very light. For this size of the car, the steering feels very smooth and also very free. Now the visibility is also very good. You don't get a lot of blind spot at this area. Outside rear view mirrors are also very big, so it really aids the visibility of this car. Now the car is in drive. Now for sports mode, let us put it into sports mode and see what happens. So now the car is in sports mode, and let me accelerate a little bit and see how's the acceleration. So in sports mode, the acceleration is even more brisk, as I can see. One more feature about the sports mode is that you can manually shift gears over here. So you get a gear change button over here on the gearbox, on the right side of the gearbox, and you can shift up or down, changing the gearbox. So right now I am in 4th gear, and if I press again up, now the car is in 5th gear. You have 10 gears, so you can choose your gear as per your convenience. And the AC is also very powerful. Car was standing under the sun, but after like 10 or 15 minutes of the AC, the car has really cooled down. So that is also pretty nice to see. The main thing that you should be careful with this car is the size, obviously, because you have to be very careful regarding the corners or you will hit someone. But it's very good that this car has front and rear parking sensors, so whenever you are near something, it will prompt you that you are near. So based upon that, you can stop your car and brake. That was my drive review for the Ford Endeavour, and I hope you like the car. Really a very nice car honestly, and the features and the power that it provides, it's really nice in this segment. India doesn't have a lot of SUVs, so the Endeavour is one of the best SUVs in this segment. So if you are trying to buy an SUV and you have a budget above 40 lakhs, so I will say that the Endeavour is one of the best cars in this segment, and you can go ahead and purchase this car. I will surely recommend this car if you are an SUV enthusiast, and also if you like off-roading a lot. So guys, that was my review for the Ford Endeavour. It was a very long review, I know, but this car has a lot of features that needs to be covered. So I hope you like this video, and if you do like it, then give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends, or someone who is an SUV enthusiast and wants to buy a Ford Endeavour. And if that person is from Kolkata and is interested in the Ford Endeavour, then do please visit this showroom. I will give a link of the showroom, the Ganges Ford Kolkata showroom, in my description box below, and you can check it out on Google Maps and come to this showroom. The people are very nice here, they helped me a lot, and they even let me test drive the Ford Endeavour for you guys. So I'm really happy that they provided me with the opportunity. So till then, I will meet you in my next video. Ciao.